Hey, so I just wanted to give a quick overview of this horror music pack for horror games. So there's 5 different tracks. 4 of them, these ones here, are, I guess, more scary, on the scary side. And this last one here is more suited for something like a safe room, I'm thinking in Resident Evil or Silent Hill. This whole pack was, very inspired by Silent Hill specifically, but also some Resident Evil. It's got a bit of that industrial unnerving quality, I hope. So each track has 4 layers, except for the save track, which has 3. So it starts with, I guess, a more ambient track suited for exploration. I'll just fade that in. Here's an example of one. And as you can see, all of these tracks are seamlessly looping. You'll see them loop back to the start from here to here. So this is when the player is maybe, walking around the level, setting the scene. The next layer is a cinematic layer. So that varies a bit between tracks, but essentially I'm imagining a character maybe talking to an NPC, or if there's a short cutscene, you can add a bit of emotional depth. So usually these are quite subtle and just add a little bit of something. Fade that one out and fade in the tension loop. So this is maybe if a character's near an enemy or in a particularly scary place. And then maybe they see an enemy and the fight starts, which is where you might want to use a combat loop. And that one can fade out and just leave the tension loop remaining. And then maybe you fade out the tension loop and bring in the cinematic layer again. Right, so that's an example of how you could use it. I designed these to give you a bit of freedom and control over how you want things to sound. That's one of the tracks. Let's just have another look at a different one. Let's have a look at this one. Here's the sort of exploration base layer. Let's have a look at the tension layer. Bring in the combat layer. Now, of course, you don't have to do that in this order. Maybe you don't want the tension layer at all. You just have the combat layer in the base loop. Maybe you just want the combat layer. You can add a sense of urgency to whatever. And of course, you don't also have to use the sort of track format that I've got here. I obviously wrote these to be part of these individual songs, but you can mix and match as much as you want. It might be a bit weird, it might be a bit unnerving and discordant, but they should mostly work together. So for example, we've got the combat loop from this blue track. Let's bring in the tension layer from this track. And let's bring in the bass layer from this track. So feel free to basically do it however you want to do it. It's totally up to you.